Okay, I don't know if it's gonna be blurry. We're gonna find out, I guess. But uh, just know that if it is blurry, it's quite literally because I tried on a call to blur my background and it never blurred. And then I just opened it and it instantly blurred. So it might be blurry. I don't know. We'll see. My hat is such a mess. Oh, as is my hair. Hello, everyone. My name is Amber. I'm an OBM and I have crazy hat hair. Um, and a systems specialist. And I wanted to talk to you today. I'm gonna put the hat back on. It's bothering me. Um, we're gonna have a conversation today about um your client management process and in particular the offboarding process. And I'm going to try very hard. I'm gonna maybe move this so that the lighting is a bit better. I hope. I cannot go all the way to the window because there is client information over here and, you know, uh, I won't do that. uh, for their, for them and for me. So, there's a number of reasons that one could decide this relationship is done. Either it was a project and the project is complete. It could be that someone has breached a contract. Um, None of this is working, so we're just gonna be okay with where it is. Um, the contract is breached. Someone just might be done and needing to make a change, or their business has outgrown, or vice versa. All of the many, many reasons that you could decide that this is the end of your relationship with that client. Um, but what happens at the tail end um, can really make or break uh, a relationship, right? For instance, I had a client back in November, December, who called and we had had a conversation in August. So, like, I knew that this was likely coming. I just didn't know when. And he called me in November and I told him in August, just give me 30 days notice, right? And given that everything was as terrible for him as it was, he didn't give me notice and I didn't require him to pay the last invoice. I should have. Looking back now, I wish I had because I made a deal with him and then he didn't fulfill his end of the bargain. So, what I would say, and to be honest with you, the untangling process in particular with this client, because I did a lot more than I do for some other clients. And he paid me more than most of my other people at that time. Um, the untangling process took longer than I normally worked for him. So, I would say that if you are very tangled up in someone's business, that you need to continue charging them until the work is done. But you get to make that choice for yourself. The other thing that I would say is that you need to, before, and you would need to hold to this, right? You, in my case, I said, in lieu of giving, or in lieu of you paying that final invoice, um, you can just give me a testimonial. And he said, okay, I will do that. Still to this day, 4 or 5 months later, still don't have the testimonial, by the way. So I didn't get paid, nor did I get the testimonial that in lieu of the invoice. So, um, I would not count on that. I would stick to your guns, get your money. But for a client who is not in the same position and not going through the same things, um, there are going to be clients that you don't want testimonials from. There are clients that you don't necessarily care about their feedback, but maybe you should ask for it anyway and just see. But take that stuff with a grain of salt, given whether the relationship has been contentious or not. But for the dream clients, the good clients, the clients that you would like to replicate and go, yes, I want 15 more of this person, right? Um, what do we do with those people so that we get more of those people, right? Like, we need to find out what attracted them to us in the first place. We need to understand the psychology of what made them buy from us in particular, and then replicate that process over and over and over again. And the way that we do that is by having a survey at the end, and it's an offboarding survey. Make it short, sweet, and to the point, maybe a couple yes or no's, a couple of long form answers, and then at the very end, you want to ask for a testimonial. And then after that, you're in that same form, you are going to ask and see if they know anybody who they think you should know. Like, that was something that I learned in real estate, is like, who do you know that I should know? Right? Who do you think could use this service? Who do you know that's currently looking to buy a home or sell a home? Right? Who do you know that I should know? And sometimes it's not just who do you know that I should know, it's who do you know in an industry that you're looking to what's the word, collaborate with, right? Some kind of building a referral network. Like, who do you know? And maybe those are the questions you ask rather than a specific person who needs your services, right? Because that may or may not happen. But it may be, do you know someone in XYZ industry that I should know and can connect me with? Right? And so there's a number of different ways to do this, and this all depends on your industry, obviously. So if you're a coach there and you're a trauma informed coach in particular, you may not want to ask people, do you know anybody who could really use this service? Because that could come off offensive if you just reach out to a random person that may not be looking necessarily for this service in particular. And you don't want to say, well, so and so thought that you had a lot of trauma in your life and you should have, you know, talk with me. Like, that's going to be offensive. But what you could say is, is there a way for you to create a in lieu of a referral, which I will always take a referral, but in lieu of a referral, if you could write a Facebook post and tag me in it that just states how helpful I was, maybe one or two impersonal, like light things that really helped you and changed your life, something like that. So there's a million different ways that you could broach this subject, and there are a bajillion ways that I work with my clients on this when we're building out this offboarding process. Um, Pretty soon, I'm actually going to have a client offboarding kit that's going to include some email templates, a form template, and things like that to kind of get you in the process, and a guide to help you plan out all of those things. So if it's not in the comments already, look for that coming soon. Maybe follow me at Amber Slocum Solutions on Instagram, and it'll definitely be there for sure. um, but I kind of hope that this is giving you some ideas and ways to think about the process of offboarding our clients in a way that a um, really thanks them and gives them the gratitude that they deserve for, if they deserve it, for all the time and effort that they have put toward the project or toward their their healing, their transformation, yada yada yada, and really expressing, hey, I really appreciate you. And if you could just do me this one other thing, could you fill out this 4 or 5, 6 question survey? And not everybody is going to do it. And to be honest with you, I would email it once, I would do a follow up with a link to the survey, and then I would let it go. And just expect that only 10 to 15% of people are actually going to fill out that survey. And maybe you reach out if they don't fill out the survey and say, hey, I'm working on compiling some testimonials. I would absolutely love. And this happens if you send it in a way that you can actually track the link clicks and see if they've clicked the link. So there are softwares and services for this type of thing, and you want to make sure you have that set up. But what this allows you to do is if they don't fill out the survey, you can still ask for the testimonial as an aside. And if they still don't give you one, that's okay. It may not even be, it may be that they've forgotten. I've asked about 8 clients for testimonials and repeatedly on a few of them, and they literally just forget every time. And it really drives me crazy, but it is part of the process, and people get busy and they just forget. And that's okay. It doesn't say anything about you, doesn't say anything about your services. It just means that they forgot and they got busy. And you don't want to hound them too often. But maybe during the process, you can also like plant that in their mind so that they understand by the end of the relationship, you are going to ask for that again if you haven't already gotten one. Um, but yeah, I hope that this was helpful. Let me know, what is your client offboarding process like? What would you do? How would you make that work? Or how do you make that work? What are some things that maybe I haven't included that you think should be part of the offboarding process? Let me know in the comments. All right, guys, have a good day. See ya. Bye.